The young and the restless spoilers suggest a chaotic week ahead for its characters. Adam will face trouble when he finds out about Victor and Kyle's involvement against Jack. Billy remains adamant to not bring Lily Winter back to the Abbott Chancellor's office, but what if Phyllis comes up with a twist? Moreover, Daniel is under arrest. Will Summer manage to find the real culprit? Let's unveil the plot one by one. Victor uses Kyle to hurt Jack. Y&R spoiler reveals that Victor Newman has heavy expectations from Adam Newman, who could find it hard to obey his orders now. Adam will be put through a loyalty test in the coming week when he discovers Victor's plans against Jack Abbott. Adam is extremely cautious this time, since he doesn't want Jack or his family to get hurt at all. But Victor seems ardent to take down Jack in his company and plans to use Kyle Abbott for the purpose. It looks like Kyle will go to any extent to please Victor. Kyle could be asked to sabotage Jack's relationship with Diane or conduct a theft like he did previously. This trap will not sit well with Adam if he gets any hint about it. He'll be in a tight spot because if he decides to act against Victor's order to help Jack, he'll put himself in grave danger. So what will he do then? Though Kyle has gone fully offensive towards his family to impress Victor, he could still face severe consequences. Claire Newman won't like his fraudulent acts at all. She is already disappointed with Kyle's behavior, and the moment she finds out about his new deception, she might hate him even more. Phyllis shakes hand with Jill. As for Billy Abbott, the spoiler suggests he will be in huge trouble because of Jill Abbott's ultimatum. Billy has failed to fire Phyllis Summer, as she is not ready to give up her position easily. He has also firmly decided to not bring Lily Winter back in the office, but things will change soon. Jill wants just the opposite of all of it. So there is a possibility that Phyllis will lock a deal with Jill. In exchange for Lily's rehiring, Phyllis can secure her job in Abbott, Chancellor's office. But for that, she has to convince Billy to let Lily join back the company. Billy will have to face a hard time with this deal, because if he wants to keep the position of authority with himself, he has to work with Lily. Or else, Jill, who has all the ideas about the situation, could show him a way out which then Billy won't like for sure. Daniel is under arrest. How will Summer prove his innocence? Another person who will continue to be in trouble is Daniel Romalotti. He has been arrested in allegations of murdering his wife, Heather Stevens. Though he continues to plead innocence, how will he convince the authorities that he is being framed and the real culprit is walking free? In the meantime, Sharon Newman could plot more evidence against Daniel to keep him away for her good. But what if her attempt backfires and she invites suspicion? We can expect Chance to find the flaws in those proofs. Well, whether she gets caught or not, that has to be seen. But trouble could come in another form for Sharon if Summer Newman takes the matter in her hands. Though police has arrested Daniel for now, his family believes the accusations to be false. Summer seems desperate to find the truth to save her brother. If she decides to investigate on her own, even Phyllis could join to help her in the process. Eventually, they could find some clue to save Daniel. In this way, we could get to see some developments in favor of Daniel Romalotti. The young and the restless spoilers for the week ahead claims to be thrilling. The investigation of Heather's murder is a pain point for Sharon, so she could commit a mistake anytime. Now, it will be really interesting to see when her trap gets exposed. But what if a twist awaits everyone? Share your thoughts in the comments. Keep reading Soap Opera Daily for more such updates on your favorite soap. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Jolie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The young and the restless spoilers for the week of October 21, 2024 are here. Next week, fans can expect Sharon Newman to make a sloppy mistake. This could prompt Phyllis Summers to start her own investigation. Meanwhile, Kyle Abbott seems to be in his evil era. Keep reading to find out what is coming up next week in the CBS soap opera. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Sharon Newman's sloppy mistake. Lie and R spoilers for the week of October 21 reveal that Chance Chancellor is investigating Heather Stevens' death. Right now, it doesn't look good for Daniel Romalotti. Junior Daniel looks guilty just as Sharon wanted. However, Chance is already questioning a few things that just don't make sense. At the same time, Chance has to follow the evidence. Cops' instincts are fine and dandy, if the law allows those instincts to be followed. So Chance's gut might say one thing, but the evidence could indicate something else. In any case, Sharon is already getting a bit sloppy. Fans already know that Daniel tried calling Heather's phone repeatedly, but it only rang when Chance was there. Sharon turned the location off, but surely technology these days could find the location anyway. There is also the cabinet. Sharon did not use gloves when closing the door after stashing the bloody towels. There is also the chance that Sharon left behind evidence that she missed while cleaning up. Maybe not visible with human eyesight, but obvious with forensic technology. Y and R spoilers. Phyllis Summer investigates. Fans just watched as Phyllis encouraged Daniel to let Chance search the penthouse. Later, Phyllis was alarmed by Daniel's update. Once Phyllis learned Sharon talked to the cops about Daniel and Heather's fake fight, she will take action. Grizzady told Soap Opera Digest in an interview that Daniel's loved ones will fight for him. So it sounds like Phyllis, and perhaps even Summer Newman, could help uncover the truth. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Adam Newman's loyalty test. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of October 21 reveal that Victor Newman will test Adam's loyalty. Adam reminded Victor of his promise when he took back over Newman Media. However, if Adam doesn't follow Victor's orders, then he is out of a job. So that will put Adam in a tough position. Adam might dupe Victor and help Jack Abbott, especially with Jack's own son helping Victor. Jack needs someone in his corner, and he already has an established relationship with Adam. Y and R spoilers. Week of October 21, 2024. Next week, Billy Abbott will be spiraling over Jill Abbott's demand. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, October 17 indicate some major plot twists on the horizon. Next on Young and the Restless. Someone makes a dire deal, while a character is placed in a compromising position, and there's trouble in paradise for one super couple. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Thursday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers. How far will Kyle Abbott cross the line? Y and R spoilers for Thursday, October 17 reveal that Kyle Abbott will make another dangerous deal with Victor Newman. He already sold Jabot out by stealing a product that was just about to be released. Now Glissade is beating the company to the punch, but snooping on his mom's, Diane Jenkins Abbott's, laptop was not a good look for Kyle. With that being said, how far will he go on Thursday when he makes yet another agreement with the Moustache? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Y and R spoilers. Things aren't looking good for Daniel Romalotti. Across town, Y and R spoilers for Thursday, October 17 hint that Daniel Romalotti's life will continue to spiral. Added teasers imply he'll be placed in a compromising position. With all the incriminating evidence that Chance Chancellor found in Daniel's apartment this week, it looks like things will get far worse for him before they get better. Surely once the cop sweeps the condo, he'll find something that clears Daniel's name, right? Only time will tell. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Dak on the rocks. Lastly, spoilers for Thursday suggest that Diane and Jack Abbott will again go at as they land on opposite sides of the page. Is there trouble in paradise for Jack and Diane, and could their issues with their son, Kyle, be the very thing that tears them apart? Could they be headed for a separation or divorce? Are you excited about Thursday's show? Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tune into the Y and R on CBS regularly to catch all the drama, and visit SOS Daily for the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, updates, and news. For more about what's happening on your favorite soaps and more ways to connect with us, join the conversation on our Facebook page, check out our Twitter feed, look for an update on our Instagram, follow us on Threads. Always stay up to date with us on Google News, or drop us an email here. See you there, having a wonderful day. Before we dive into today's discussion, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates and insights on your favorite shows. As fans of The Young and the Restless, we've always anticipated the eventual return of characters like Sheila Carter. Whether she's killed or merely written off, the show's creators tend to revive her every few years. However, what we didn't see coming was the shocking transformation of Sharon Newman, who has now taken on characteristics reminiscent of Sheila herself. Sharon has found herself in an increasingly precarious position, and it's hard to imagine how she can possibly escape it. Her journey has taken a dark turn as she's recently admitted to poisoning Daniel and has been implicated in the murder of Heather. Now, in a shocking twist, she appears to be framing Daniel for the murder of his girlfriend. This level of betrayal is hard to come back from in the real world, but in the realm of daytime soap operas, anything is possible. Interestingly, The Young and the Restless seems to have borrowed a page from The Bold and the Beautiful. On that show, characters like Sheila, who have committed heinous acts, often find themselves reintegrated into society without facing the severe consequences one would expect. Sheila has been depicted as a reformed character who, despite her violent past, can casually serve pizza at Il Giardino without anyone batting an eye. It seems that the residents of Genoa City might also come to accept Sharon's actions in a similar manner once her storyline gets back on track. Daniel and Lucy may never forgive Sharon for her actions, akin to how characters like Steffi can't forget Sheila's violent past. However, the rest of Genoa City might simply move on as if nothing happened. It raises the question, is this narrative arc far-fetched? Absolutely. Yet if The Bold and the Beautiful can make audiences accept Sheila as a part of the community, then surely The Young and the Restless can do the same with Sharon. The soap has a history of reintroducing characters after they've committed unforgivable acts. Victor Newman, for instance, has been involved in numerous scandals over the years, yet continues to be a central character. He's not even portrayed as mentally unstable, at least not officially. From feeding Michael Scott rats to facilitating Patty Williams' plastic surgery for revenge, Victor has manipulated and harmed others with little consequence. So, as Sharon's story unfolds, we must consider how the writers plan to navigate her redemption arc. Will she find a way to justify her actions, or will the show simply gloss over the serious ramifications of her choices? As we await further developments, it's clear that the road ahead for Sharon is fraught with tension and drama. Do you think there's a viable way for Sharon to emerge from this chaos, or is she too far gone? Share your thoughts in the comments below. With Nick Newman are set to unravel in the upcoming episode of The Young and the Restless. Living in her own fantasy world, Sharon believes she is on the brink of rekindling her relationship with Nick, but the reality is quite different. As the episode unfolds, viewers will witness Sharon's misguided optimism clash with Nick's more grounded perspective. Despite her feelings, Nick is hesitant to take the plunge back into a romantic relationship. This is compounded by Sharon's recent questionable decisions, including her elaborate scheme involving Daniel Romalotti Jr., which has further clouded her judgment. As tensions rise, the stage is set for a pivotal moment. Sharon may decide to propose to Nick, driven by a mix of desperation and the influence of Cameron Kirsten, who seems to be whispering sweet nothings into her ear. With Abby Newman Abbott and David Hamilton Winter's wedding on the horizon, the idea of marriage could push Sharon to make a bold move. However, fans should brace themselves for the fallout that comes with it. When Sharon gathers the courage to pop the question, it's likely that Nick will have to gently refuse her, sparking an emotional confrontation. Though he holds deep feelings for Sharon, he may argue that their past relationship has proven too tumultuous to revisit. This rejection could serve as a much-needed wake-up call for Sharon. Will it finally shatter her delusions and force her to confront the truth about her circumstances? The possibility looms large that she may have to confront her role in framing Daniel, a secret that weighs heavily on her conscience. The emotional fallout from this could push her into a breakdown, unraveling the carefully constructed fantasy she has built around Nick. As Sharon's world crumbles, her questionable choices threaten to come back and haunt her. The combination of her unfulfilled desires and the truth about her manipulative actions could lead to explosive revelations that shake Genoa City to its core. Will Nick's rejection propel Sharon to face the reality she's been avoiding, or will she spiral deeper into her illusions? One thing is certain, the drama is just heating up, and fans can expect shocking twists and turns ahead. Stay tuned for what promises to be an intense episode as Asterisk, the Young and the Restless Asterisk, delivers some serious drama that will have everyone talking. With Sharon's fantasy life at stake and the weight of her secrets looming, viewers should prepare for a roller coaster of emotions and unexpected revelations in the coming weeks. Remarkable tale of character evolution that took everyone by surprise. When Phyllis was first introduced to audiences on October 18, 1994, her role was intended to be short-lived. Michelle Stafford, who has famously portrayed Phyllis for decades, revealed that the character was initially conceived without a long-term plan. She was created by Bill Bell, Stafford explains, and he didn't really have a long-term plan for her. She was just going to come on for a short while and then be written off. Phyllis made her debut as a rock star groupie, stirring trouble in the romance of Danny Romalotti and his girlfriend Christine. Though she was supposed to be a temporary character, her portrayal resonated with viewers and writers alike. Stafford recalls, "Bill liked what I was doing with her, and somehow she just kept sticking around." This unforeseen chemistry allowed Phyllis to transcend her initial purpose, transforming her into a cornerstone of the series over the last 30 years. Stafford herself admits that she never expected Phyllis to become such a significant part of the show. "Absolutely freaking not," she exclaimed, reflecting on how unexpected her lasting impact was. "It's insane to think about." Over the years, Phyllis has evolved from a mere catalyst for conflict into one of Genoa City's most intricate characters, solidifying her status as a soap opera icon. Currently, Stafford is enjoying Phyllis' ongoing storylines, but has expressed interest in delving deeper into her character's backstory, particularly her family dynamics. She reminisces about the character's mother, Lydia, who was portrayed by Abby Dalton, renowned for her role in Falcon Crest Asterisk. Lydia was this rich woman who had cocktails for lunch and was totally over Phyllis and all her drama, Stafford fondly remembers. Although Dalton sadly passed away in 2020, Stafford believes that there remains a wealth of untapped material regarding Phyllis' family relationships. It would be fun to revisit that relationship or even bring back her sister, Avery. "There's definitely more to dig into," she hints. As Asterisk, the Young and the Restless Asterisk marks 30 years of Phyllis Summers, fans are reminded of her roller coaster journey, from a troublesome groupie to one of the show's most compelling figures. The layers of her character are still being peeled back, and Stafford expresses immense gratitude for the opportunity to continue portraying Phyllis. "Wait until you see what we're filming right now," she teases, hinting at exciting developments in Phyllis' storyline. With a character as dynamic and unpredictable as Phyllis, viewers can always expect the unexpected. Stafford's enthusiasm for her role hints that the upcoming episodes are sure to deliver some shocking twists and surprises that will keep audiences on the edge of their seats. Stay tuned, because the legacy of Phyllis Summers is far from over, and her story is set to take more thrilling turns in the future. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Daniel Romalotti Jr., Michael Graziadei, is dealing with more drama than he can handle right now, but his portrayer is loving the chance at some juicy material. In a new interview with SOD, Michael Graziadei opened up about Daniel's latest storyline and the challenge of bringing it to life. Although Graziadei admitted to some anxiety about certain scenes, especially considering they often only get one take, he clearly finds the work rewarding. As for Sharon Newman, Sharon case, some suspicions have arisen about her apartment visit the evening Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom, was last seen alive. Sharon claimed Heather told her about having a big fight with Daniel, so that's raised some red flags. Even so, Michael Graziadei doesn't think Daniel is letting himself entertain the possibility that Sharon could be responsible for what happened to Heather. I think that he is still constantly giving her the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't want to believe that it could be her, no matter what the circumstances may be, Graziadei insisted. That could change as the storyline moves along, but Graziadei isn't thinking that far ahead at the moment. Graziadei suggested he's just playing what he's given and waiting to see what direction all this goes in. Since soaps are known for shaking things up, Graziadei acknowledged that it's tough to make predictions about what might happen way down the line. I honestly am taking it one episode at a time and seeing kind of where the trajectory is going, because I'm saying right now, Daniel will never forgive the person that is responsible for this in a million years, and 6 months from now, I could be married to that person. Graziadei said. Of course, it's going to be tough for Daniel to forgive Sharon anytime soon, let alone marry her. Graziadei was seemingly just joking, but it's interesting to think about what Daniel and Sharon's complicated relationship will look like moving forward. That's especially true if Sharon isn't the only guilty party. There's no denying that Sharon is to blame for the body disposal and Daniel's frame-up, but things could get messy if someone else caused Heather's grim fate. Between Sharon's blackout and mental issues, there's some wiggle room that could lead to Y and R clearing her somewhat. In fact, it's intriguing that Graziadei chose to say the person responsible instead of specifically identifying Sharon. That could be a hint about a real culprit reveal that'll ultimately shock the audience. Whatever the case, the Young and the Restless spoilers say Daniel has another round of awful news coming up, so we'll pass along updates on all the chaos. CTL is where you want to be for great Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so check back often for more Y and R info. Her emotions for years. Despite the distance between them, she yearned for the love she once shared with Nick. She convinced herself that his kindness, his concern for her, and their co-parenting bond were signs of a deeper connection that still existed. With hope in her heart, Sharon believed that Nick might still love her, that their past could be rekindled, and that they could find happiness together once more. Deciding to take a bold step, Sharon invited Nick over under the pretense of discussing their children. Her real intention, however, was far more personal. She wanted to confess her love for him and propose that they start fresh. As the conversation moved from their kids to more intimate matters, Sharon finally bared her heart to Nick, telling him she loved him and wanted to be together again. She proposed, hoping for a positive response. However, Nick's reaction wasn't what Sharon had imagined. While he cared for Sharon deeply as the mother of his children, his heart belonged to Phyllis. He couldn't see himself rekindling a romantic relationship with Sharon. In that moment of vulnerability, as Nick gently tried to let her down, Sharon's hope turned into desperation. What happened next shocked Nick to his core. Sharon, overwhelmed by emotion, confessed a dark and terrible secret. She admitted to killing Heather and dumping her body. Nick was speechless as he processed her words. Sharon, his ex-wife and the mother of his children, had just confessed to murder. She begged him not to tell anyone, pleading for the sake of their children. Nick's mind raced. Could this be true? Could Sharon really have done something so horrific? As she continued to plead with him, Nick, still in shock, discreetly reached for his phone and started recording the conversation. He needed proof, and now he had it, Sharon's full confession. With this evidence, he faced a monumental decision. What should he do next? Alone that night, Nick replayed the recording, listening to Sharon's trembling voice as she confessed to the crime. His emotions were in turmoil. Sharon had committed a terrible act, but if he went to the police, it would devastate their children. He would be the one responsible for sending their mother to prison, and their lives would be torn apart. He considered confronting Sharon directly and using the recording as leverage, forcing her to get the psychiatric help she so clearly needed. Could that be enough? Would it be right to let a murderer go free in exchange for getting her help? The next morning, Nick stood outside Phyllis's house, debating whether to share the truth with her. She was the one person he trusted completely, and he needed her guidance. But revealing Sharon's dark secret could strain their relationship, and Nick wasn't sure if he could bear that. Yet, with everything at stake, he knew he had to do something. As Nick stood at Phyllis's door, the weight of his decision pressed down on him. Should he take the recording to the police and let justice take its course, or should he find another way to protect his children and try to save Sharon from herself? The decision he made would change everything, not just for Sharon, but for their entire family. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Summer Newman could find herself highly motivated to carry out her own investigation. Once Chance Chancellor tells Summer about the incriminating proof against Daniel Rummelottiger, she'll surely fear the worst. After losing Heather Stevens so suddenly and horrifically, Daniel is in enough pain as it is. We've seen Daniel struggling to keep it together for Lucy Rummelotti's sake, but now his nightmare is getting even worse. Daniel looks guilty thanks to the clues Sharon Newman has been planting, but Summer knows her brother's heart. There's no way Summer will believe Daniel is capable of causing Heather's grisly outcome and lying right to Lucy's face. Summer will realize there has to be another explanation, so she may conclude that someone set Daniel up. Although Summer might want to help with Chance's investigation, he may urge her to stay out of it and leave things to the professionals. However, Summer may refuse to back off if the cops insist on charging Daniel for a crime he didn't commit. This could lead to Summer conducting a little investigation of her own, but it could bring trouble in more ways than one. For starters, Chance wouldn't be happy about Summer going behind his back like this. That's especially true if Summer sneaks a peek at privileged police info as part of her efforts to play Nancy Drew. What good is having a cop boyfriend if you can't steal his information, Summer? Might as well throw in a betrayal or two and swipe Chance's intel sooner or later. Of course, Summer could make even more trouble for herself if she actually cracks the case. Sharon Newman is behind Daniel's frame-up. But what happens if Summer figures that out? Summer might bust Sharon somewhere down the road and land in grave danger as a result. Sharon has proven that she poses a serious threat and will stop at nothing to keep her secrets under wraps. In other words, Sharon is downright dangerous in her current mental state, so Summer could get held hostage or end up hurt if she tangles with her. Our Vi and our predictions hint that Sharon will exhibit even wilder behavior as this storyline heats up, so stay tuned for updates on any scary news ahead for Summer. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Summer may not rest until she uncovers the truth, so we'll see if that brings a Sharon showdown. Sean Kerrigan's studio sighting sparks speculation. It's celebration time in Genoa City. The Young and the Restless star Michelle Stafford, aka Genoa City's fiery Phyllis Summers, just hit a huge milestone. She has spent 30 long years stirring up drama and delivering iconic moments on the soap. The I&R family threw a behind-the-scenes bash for her with a playful twist. Stitch on his way back. The Young and the Restless found her pictures on the cupcakes because what's a party without some Phyllis-themed sweet treats? So the bash had plenty of familiar faces to celebrate Michelle's 3 decades of amazing work. In addition, the guest list included someone who made everyone do a double take. Who is it? We're talking about Sean Kerrigan, the mysterious Ben Stitch Rayburn. He was spotted at the party, and his presence sparked a chatter among fans. It's been a hot minute since we last saw Stitch. So if he's back at the studio, could a comeback be in the cards? Or was he just there to give our soap queen a bow? Interestingly, Michelle even spilled the tea about Sean being there in an interview. He was so sweet to come. He's a homie, she gushed. The I&R diva is playing it cool, but we can't help but wonder if Sean's not just hanging out for the cupcakes. Meanwhile, Stitch left Genoa City under some shady circumstances back in 2021. The man abducted Maria Copeland, who was involved in the surrogacy drama with baby Dominic. Ultimately, he got busted, prompting him to flee the town with his son Max. So could this surprise appearance mean Stitch is ready to come out of hiding and stir the pot again? Furthermore, he has plenty of unfinished business. If Max's condition worsened or something tragic happened off-screen, would Stitch lose his grip again? Will he plot to kidnap Dominic as a replacement for his son? Or maybe he gives up on everything and turns himself in. Whatever the case, Stitch has the potential to turn Abby and Devon's happy world upside down. Stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more The Young and the Restless tea. Is Stitch coming back to finish what he started, or was Sean just at the party for fun? The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Thursday, October 17, reveals that Claire Newman will see the tension between Diane Jenkins Abbott and Jack Abbott at Crimson Lights. So she'll point it out to Victoria Newman and Cole Howard. Cole and Victoria will advise Claire to stay out of the Abbott family drama, but Claire will still feel for Jack and Diane. Claire will also open up about Kyle Abbott flipping the switch and becoming a more vindictive person when it comes to work. After Claire admits Jack's suspicions about Victor Newman being the one behind Glissade, Victoria will acknowledge that Victor is a complicated man. Although Victoria will suggest separating the two sides of Victor, Cole will point out that Kyle isn't family and hint that Claire will have to decide what she can accept when it comes to him. Claire won't think accepting or walking away are the only two options, so she'll hold out hope that Kyle can change for the better. In the Jazz Lounge, Kyle will be confident that he covered his tracks with the stolen product, and praise Victor's decision to fire Audra Charles. Victor will make a prediction about things getting stickier soon since he won't expect Jack will let this go. Later, Jack will corner Victor alone and urge him to stop all the Kyle manipulation. Victor will play dumb and eventually invite Jack to hit him since it might make Jack feel better. After Jack brings up Victor's revenge over what happened with Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, Victor will rant about it being a night of debauchery that almost cost Nikki her life. In the GCAC dining area, Kyle will order some tequila shots at the bar while Diane shows up and rips into him. Diane will threaten to have Kyle arrested, so Kyle will think that just proves Jabot matters more to her than her own son. Diane will suggest that she doesn't have a son anymore according to Kyle, but Jack will appear and take Kyle's side in the fight. That'll rile Diane up even further, but Jack will decide he's had enough and will blow up at Diane for being a raging narcissist. Jack will throw Diane's abandonment of Kyle in her face and act like she fooled everyone with her perfect wife and mother routine. However, Jack will suggest his eyes have been opened to the fact that Diane was just worming her way to the top spot at Jabot. Nearby, Victor will watch the confrontation with glee while a concerned Claire appears along with Victoria and Cole. Kyle will also watch the face-off play out and will seem concerned over the destruction of his parents' marriage. Diane will protest the awful things Jack's saying and call him out for being mean, but she'll ultimately leave in tears. Claire will end up running to Kyle's side to comfort him as he stands there looking pensive. At Society, Chance Chancellor will give Summer Newman off-the-record updates on the evidence found in Daniel Romalotti Jr.'s apartment and admit things don't look good. Although Chance will wonder if Lucy Romalotti might have hidden something incriminating, Summer won't think she would do that. In the park, Daniel will tell Phyllis Summers about Heather Stevens' phone being found in the apartment along with the bloody towels. Phyllis will also find out about the unsent text claiming Heather was afraid of Daniel and the fight that Heather supposedly told Sharon Newman about. The news that Sharon was in the apartment will raise Phyllis' suspicions and leave her questioning why Heather would confide anything to her. Phyllis will think there's something very wrong about Sharon's story. Once Summer arrives on Thursday's I and R episode, Daniel will let Phyllis fill her in while he reaches out to Lucy at the athletic club. Phyllis will give Summer all the evidence details and suggest Chance may be their only hope. Since the proof is piling up, Phyllis will think Daniel would be locked up already if another detective were working this case. Summer will eventually meet back up with Chance, who'll reluctantly admit he put a rush on the blood analysis from the towels and confirmed the blood belonged to Heather. Although Summer will insist someone else must have planted the evidence, Chance will point out there was no sign of a break-in and will think Daniel needs to lawyer up. Back in the park, Lucy will join Phyllis and Daniel as they try to explain the situation. Lucy will end up reeling as she finds out about the incriminating proof and will question what this means. Daniel will ultimately admit it seems like someone might be trying to frame him for killing Heather, so Lucy will have a lot to wrap her head around. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Daniel will indeed need an attorney soon, so stay tuned for all the legal issues headed his way. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate something sinister could be brewing in the land of Genoa City. The Wednesday, October 16 episode offered some interesting hints on what could happen next, and it looks like two characters could find their worlds colliding as both are gunning for Victor Newman. First off, Audra Charles uncharacteristically fell flat on her face when she attempted to strike a deal with Jack Abbott to bring Victor down. Amid their discussion, she broke her NDA agreement and confirmed Jack's suspicions that Victor indeed was the person pulling the puppet strings behind Glissade as the company's secret investor. Much to Audra's dismay, when she brought up a partnership, Jack turned her down and shut down their conversation almost immediately. She was upset, and he let it be known that any intentions she had of getting Glissade back and bringing Victor down were futile. Across town, Adam Newman was quite ticked off that Victor wanted to use him and Newman Media to make Jack look bad. After his conversation, Adam stormed out of his father's office and ran into Michael Baldwin, demanding to know what Victor's scheme against Jack was. He pointed out that Audra was fired for no reason from Glissade and that he could smell his father using Kyle from a mile away, just to get under Jack's skin. Michael didn't spill anything, however. It was interesting that Adam brought up Audra's name and defended her. It's not hard to see that the soap could be setting up a partnership of sorts between Adam and Audra. Could they decide to come together with a scheme that will finally teach Victor a lesson? They wouldn't go in with the intent of any romance, but sparks could fly. After all, Adam is single, and nothing is hinting that a reunion between him and Chelsea Lawson is happening. To boot, while Audra is with Nate Hastings, there's no sizzle to their romance game. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that Audra and Adam's ex, Sally Spectra, have become besties as of late. So if Audra partnered up with Adam on any level, this could create some massive drama in her friendship. CDL is the best place for Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so stop by regularly for more I and R info. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, October 16, tease the end to the Who killer Heather mystery, as Chance turns up evidence the culprit deliberately hid. Help asked. Chance is a very diligent detective. He questions people, he searches places, he examines evidence, he floats theories like Heather went for a walk at dusk next to a river to meet a lover wrapped in a blanket from her house. Because, yeah, that's something people do. Chance talked to Sharon and walked away with a feeling of disquiet. But he's not too thrilled with Daniel's answers either. So Chance asked to take a look around the home Daniel, Heather, and Lucy shared. What he finds there makes Chance think Daniel may have done the deed, considering Sharon doesn't technically remember doing it. Maybe Chance is onto something. Help wanted. Victor is the smartest man in the world. He can do anything he likes, and he never fails. But when it comes to Jack, Victor's lifelong enemy, just refuses to roll over, play dead, and admit that fact. Jack keeps fighting back, which Victor finds personally offensive. And now Jack is drawing Audra into their battle? Unfair. Jack is a cheater, but he is just so busy these days, with lying to Lily and manipulating Kyle, that Victor is looking to outsource some of his very successful work. This means going to Adam and ordering his younger son to run some errands, which includes crushing Billy, which is a much easier task than bringing down Jack, which is why Victor can trust Adam to do it. Large over the lives of its residents. This week's episode brings a whirlwind of deception, confrontation, and personal dilemmas, as familiar characters face challenges that may reshape their futures. Detective Chance Chancellor finds himself deep in a mystery, unraveling the circumstances surrounding Heather's death. Meticulous in his investigation, Chance uncovers a shocking piece of evidence, Heather's phone. Carefully preserved and sent for analysis, the phone reveals that Sharon Newman's fingerprints are the clearest on the device, suggesting she had been using it. The implication sends shockwaves through Chance. Sharon, known for her charm and enigmatic personality, has always been a figure of complexity. But now, faced with evidence tying her to Heather's death, Chance is left to confront her. Determined to get to the truth, Chance arranges a tense meeting with Sharon. In the cold, sterile atmosphere of the interrogation room, Chance pushes for answers. Sharon remains composed, denying any wrongdoing. As Chance presses her, revealing the evidence of her fingerprints on Heather's phone, Sharon's calm demeanor becomes all the more unsettling. She remains defiant, insisting that things aren't always as they seem, and subtly hints that Chance might be jumping to conclusions. Despite her nonchalance, Chance can't shake the feeling that Sharon is hiding something significant. Yet, without further proof, he's forced to tread carefully, unable to fully expose her involvement. Elsewhere, Victor Newman is entangled in his own struggles. After sidelining Audra Charles in favor of Kyle Abbott, Victor seeks to make amends. In a private meeting, he apologizes to Audra for his previous decision, acknowledging her value to the company. He offers her a powerful role at Newman Enterprises, with Tucker McCall backing her as a key investor. Though skeptical of Victor's sudden gesture, Audra seizes the opportunity, understanding that this could be a turning point in her career. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott faces internal chaos at Jabot Cosmetics. Diane Jenkins, once a trusted colleague, has become a source of division within the Abbott family. Jack realizes that Diane's actions are tearing apart the unity of the family, and he resolves to neutralize her influence. Instead of confronting her directly, Jack begins to strategize, seeking allies within the company who are loyal to the Abbott family. He knows that a calculated approach is the only way to protect his family's legacy without causing further damage. Phyllis Summers finds herself at a pivotal moment, torn between her loyalty to Billy Abbott and the mounting pressure from Jill Abbott. Phyllis has always been dedicated to Chancellor Industries, but Jill's disapproval forces her to reconsider her future. In a heartfelt conversation with Billy, Phyllis decides that stepping away might be the best course of action, allowing Billy to focus on his family without the constant strain from his mother. Her decision to leave is bittersweet, as she hopes that her departure will provide Billy with the space he needs to regain control of his life. Just as Phyllis steps away, Lily Winters returns with a proposal that could potentially revitalize Chancellor Industries. However, her return is far from welcome for Billy. The strained history between them weighs heavily on his mind, and the thought of working closely with Lily fills him with anxiety. Despite her enthusiasm, Billy's fears begin to materialize as their collaboration quickly turns confrontational. Lily's strong-willed approach clashes with Billy's vision, and meetings soon become battlegrounds of conflicting ideas. By the end of the week, Billy realizes that working with Lily is more than just a professional challenge. It's taking a toll on his mental well-being. Overwhelmed by the constant friction, Billy makes a desperate plea to Jill, asking her to reconsider Lily's involvement in the project. Jill, ever the shrewd businesswoman, listens carefully but is reluctant to back down. While Billy's request may not have fallen on deaf ears, the road ahead remains uncertain as tensions continue to rise. As the week comes to a close, the characters of Genoa City find themselves navigating a web of deceit, power struggles, and shifting loyalties. With every decision they make, the stakes grow higher, setting the stage for even more explosive confrontations in the days to come. Although their love for each other runs deep, the manipulations of Victor Newman have placed an insurmountable strain on their relationship. As tensions mount, the couple finds themselves not only battling external pressures, but also facing betrayal within their own family, particularly from their son, Kyle. Kyle's recent actions have already left Jack and Diane feeling vulnerable, and it seems he's poised to deliver yet another blow. Victor, ever the puppeteer, sees this familial discord as an opportunity to further his own agenda. He lures Kyle into a dangerous game with a proposal that poses a direct threat to Jack and Diane's already fragile marriage. Victor's cunning plan might compel Kyle to sabotage his parents in ways that could fracture their bond permanently. He aims to turn Kyle into a pawn, exploiting his doubts and emotions to dismantle Jack and Diane's relationship for his gain. Under Victor's influence, Kyle has begun to view Jack and Diane not as his parents, but as adversaries. This warped perspective pushes him toward a precarious deal that could have devastating consequences for his family. As Kyle edges closer to this betrayal, the stakes rise higher, and Jack and Diane's struggle to hold on to their marriage becomes increasingly desperate. Meanwhile, Diane is caught in a whirlwind of turmoil, torn between her loyalty to Jack and the insidious plots swirling around them. While Jack and Diane grapple with their marital crisis, another storm brews involving Chance Chancellor. During his investigation, Chance uncovers incriminating evidence against Daniel, which could lead to serious charges related to his troubled past with Heather. The implications of this discovery send shockwaves through the community, especially for Summer Newman, who is deeply concerned about Daniel's fate. Summer's disbelief over Daniel's alleged actions is palpable, yet Chance, with his detective instincts, senses something far more troubling beneath the surface. As the pressure mounts, Daniel finds himself cornered, facing not only police scrutiny, but also mounting questions about his relationship with Heather. With his back against the wall, he struggles to navigate the precarious situation. Meanwhile, a sense of temporary victory envelops Sharon, who believed she had successfully orchestrated her plans against Daniel. Yet, unbeknownst to her, the tide is shifting, and she is unable to see the storm brewing on the horizon. Sharon, who has been living a lie, tries desperately to maintain her facade, but the cracks are beginning to show. Despite her efforts to keep her struggles hidden, the truth threatens to emerge, and Sharon realizes she is embroiled in a dangerous game where loyalty can shift in an instant. Her pride and determination to outmaneuver her opponents blind her to the growing risks. The reality is that each character is on a collision course, with suspicion and betrayal weaving a complex web that threatens to ensnare them all. As the tensions escalate, the inevitable climax approaches, with Jack and Diane's confrontation, Kyle's betrayal, Victor's machinations, and Sharon's hidden secrets converging in a dramatic showdown. Each character is left to question their motives and allegiances in this high-stakes battle. The once solid foundations of family and trust are crumbling, and the question looms: who will emerge victorious, and who will pay the price for their choices? With Jack's simmering anger putting Diane in harm's way, the fallout from Victor's manipulations could shatter their already fragile marriage. Kyle's misguided actions threaten to sever the familial bonds that once held them together, while Sharon's precarious situation casts a shadow over everything. As alliances shift and secrets are poised to come to light, the chaotic dynamics of Asterisk, the young and the restless Asterisk, are set to reach a boiling point, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. Stay tuned to see how these explosive storylines unfold as each character faces the repercussions of their actions in a world where love, loyalty, and betrayal collide. Lucy walks into Crimson Lights, overwhelmed by grief. Spotting Faith, the young woman immediately falls into her arms and breaks down. Faith, always the caring friend, offers her comfort, even fetching a drink to calm her down. As Lucy apologizes for losing control, Faith reassures her that there's no need for an apology. No one can truly understand the devastation she's going through after losing her mother, Heather. Lucy, her voice trembling, admits she never thought she'd face a life without her mother. She regrets the harsh words she once said and wishes she could hold her one last time to say how much she loves her. Faith gently asks if Lucy has learned anything more about what happened, but Lucy, still confused, shakes her head. "It's so crazy," she says. Faith, concerned for her friend's well-being, urges Lucy to promise that this tragedy won't lead her down a dangerous path, like turning to alcohol. Lucy confesses she's been tempted at the club. Meanwhile, Chance is on a different mission. At the Abbott house, Chance is speaking with Summer, Daniel's sister, about the ongoing investigation into Heather's death. Summer, narrowing her eyes, asks if Chance seriously believes Heather was having an affair. It's a painful suggestion, especially for her brother. Chance explains that while he doesn't necessarily believe it, he needs to rule it out. Evidence can be unpredictable, and it's his duty to give the family the answers they deserve, no matter how painful. Back at Daniel's place, the emotional weight of the situation intensifies. Chance suggests that Heather may have had a secret lover, but Daniel refuses to believe it. He's deeply offended, feeling it's disrespectful to even entertain the idea. To make matters worse, Chance wants to search their apartment, something Daniel isn't ready for. Daniel's mother, Phyllis, steps in and advises him to let Chance do his job. She reminds Daniel that this is an investigation, and there could be something important that only a professional like Chance would notice. Even if it's painful, Daniel needs closure, and so does Lucy. A mother's plea. Can Phyllis convince Daniel? Phyllis tries to reason with her son, explaining that Chance isn't trying to hurt him, but rather help find some much-needed answers. If there's a chance to uncover what happened to Heather, it's worth searching through the apartment. Daniel, however, is far from ready. Walking past Heather's belongings every day is a struggle. He can still smell her perfume on the sheets, and her slippers remain by the bed. The thought of someone else touching them is unbearable. Phyllis urges Daniel to reconsider, saying that letting Chance search could be the key to understanding Heather's final moments. Even if the worst had happened, maybe they'd find a clue about what really took place. Daniel remains hesitant, but Phyllis's words weigh heavy on him. A picnic of memories, Sharon and Nick's heartfelt moment. As tension mounts in Genoa City, Sharon takes a different approach to coping with her recent struggles. She arranges a surprise picnic for Nick at the park, hoping to thank him for being there when she needed him most. Sharon's gesture catches Nick off guard, but he appreciates the effort. Over-bubbly, Sharon's drinking non-alcoholic due to new meds. They reminisce about the early days of their relationship, recalling a picnic that ended in a rainstorm. They laugh, sharing a tender moment of nostalgia. Sharon tells Nick how much she appreciates his support and reflects on how far they've come. Nick, caught up in the sweetness of the moment, jokes about their youthful days of being young and dumb in love. But it's clear the bond between them remains as strong as ever. Jill's unexpected call. Is Billy in trouble? Back at Chancellor Winters, Billy receives an unexpected video call from his mother, Jill. Though the tone is light at first, Jill quickly warns her son that this conversation isn't going to be pleasant. Worried about her health, Billy is relieved to hear that Jill's doing well, even expecting a clean bill of health soon. However, Jill is disappointed in Billy, claiming she hears more from her grandkids than from him. Despite his excuses, she's heard otherwise. As Billy braces for what's next, it seems his work ethic, or lack thereof, might be the topic of their conversation. In Genoa City, emotions are running high, secrets are bubbling to the surface, and investigations are threatening to tear families apart. Can Lucy hold it together, or will her grief lead her down a dangerous path? Will Daniel allow Chance to investigate and uncover the truth about Heather's death? And what's next for Billy and Jill as tensions rise in the business world? Daniel's facing a world of trouble on Young and Restless, but there's a character returning to the canvas who may be able to help him out of this legal nightmare. Unfortunately, she's also one of his mother's nemesis. It wasn't enough that Daniel had to grieve the death of his lady love, Heather, but Sharon and the demon on her shoulder decided he should go to prison for a murder he didn't commit on top of it. Never mind that Lucy would be left without parents, a precarious situation indeed for a youngster already feeling isolated and acting out. Sharon planted evidence in Daniel's apartment for the police to find, and she didn't even have to make the anonymous call to the cops that Cam was pushing her to make, because they found it anyway. Thanks to Phyllis urging her son to allow Chance to calm the condo for clues to Heather's last hours, Detective Dreamy unearthed both Heather's cell phone and the bundle of bloody towels that shifty Sharon stashed in the liquor cabinet. This left Daniel stunned, and rather screwed, if we do say so ourselves. In the real world, it would be obvious that he's being set up. Who would invite the police over to search the place knowing they'd left evidence all but out in the open? In the soap world, however, the cops aren't always quite so sharp, and the investigation isn't all that it should be. After all, why wouldn't they have already pulled security footage from the apartment building? Hopefully they're not going to try and tell us that billionaire Devon lived in luxury condos with no security. Yes, folks, this being the soap opera murder case that it is, it's going to take an established legal eagle to make an aggressive push for the truth while Daniel cools his heels behind bars. And who better than someone with a vested interest in the outcome? Christine Cricket Blair is not only Daniel's former stepmother, but she's also the ex-wife of Paul Williams, whose daughter was murdered and who suffered a heart attack as a result of getting the terrible news. She also happens to be the suspect's mother's most long-standing nemesis, and one half of a rivalry that was very recently renewed when Phyllis and Christine sparred for Danny's affection anew. As it turns out, we can confirm that Christine is indeed headed back to Genoa City, thanks to her portrayer, Laura Lee Bell, taking to her Instagram account to reveal her return to work. As Young and Restless viewers know, Danny and Christine have been on an extended tour that took them as far as Paris, and as near as Los Angeles, where they appeared on sister soap, Bold and Beautiful.